Hey everyone, just so you know, the following video is a clip from a show I actually do on AFTV. The full link for the video is in the description below. Thank you for your continued support, really appreciate it. We touched on Eddie Nketiah, credit to him, credit to Rice. There's two players I want to talk about, Fabio Vieira and Kai Havertz. I want to talk about Fabio Vieira first because I think there's two things. Fabio Vieira's performance, it was very easy for anyone to notice he was very good. Why? Because I think he got on the ball, he showed an urgency, he was combining with players, he was very involved. He was saying, give me the ball, let me try and do something, and he did. Kai Havertz, we keep hearing about this off-the-ball stuff, and it's not just fans. I kind of was saying, I was a bit frustrated in the full-time show, I was saying, you know, I don't like this patronising, you don't get what he does, you don't get what he does. But I do think that is almost fueled by Arteta saying the things that I'm going to read out in a minute in his quotes that make you think, well, maybe it is the team not helping him as much as it is him not helping the team. Hold that thought on Kai Havertz. Let's talk about Fabio Vieira first. I'm going to go to my trusty tactical pad, as I always do. And of course, I want to show you the Vieira assist. Where is it? Nketiah goal. Here we go. And all I want to do, there's not much analysis to this. I just want to show you what a brilliant ball it is. And unfortunately, well, firstly, unfortunately, I've got Eddie in an offside position. So that's unfair. Or actually, maybe I'll fix that in a little bit. But the other thing I want to show is, here's Vieira pulling wide, Martinelli coming more central, and combinations, rotations already. But he gets this ball, and he just takes it out of his feet. And that ball, I will never be able to do it justice on this tactical pad. The whip he gets on it. Whip, yeah. I have a seat. I'm going to be able to show you my seat. I have a seat up there, high and up there, along the goal line. So I had an amazing view of the bend on that ball and what he did. The fact that ball didn't look on, but he took it and he just whips it and he puts it on a plate for Nketiah. And it wasn't the first time he nailed his pass like that. There was another ball in a similar area where he tried to lift it in beyond to Saka. Do you remember when Saka chests it and then Bassi? It's all in the same movement. Bassi then gets injured and stays on the floor. We play and then we score that goal. Immense from Fabio Vieira, so great to see that. De Bruyne-esque, he came on and said, give me the ball, make it happen. But he did another thing in this game. Help if this opens, there we go. So, Fulham, he shows the underlap. So here's Martinelli. Now Kivior is providing an option. So Vieira doesn't have to say, give me the ball here, because what's the point? Kivior can occupy that space, he recognises that. So, he makes the dart into that space, and Tete comes across, fouls him, penalty. It's very good. It's very David Silva-esque. David Silva used to do it so often for the Centurions, for that Man City team. Him and De Bruyne, either side, underlap, because they hold the width. That means the space is somewhere in those central areas, and Vieira attacks it, does brilliantly take a touch, draws the foul, Stonewall penalty. Brilliant from Vieira. But it's not the first time we've seen it. Again, he comes off the bench, this time because Xhaka's feeling unwell against Wolves. And 0-0, we're struggling to get a goal, we're in the second half, he does the same thing. Zinchenko gets the ball, gives it wide to Jesus. This is last season, by the way, if I didn't specify. Jesus cuts inside, again alternating, because Martinelli comes central, Jesus has come wide, lots of rotations, and Vieira understands the underlap, takes a touch, and just lifts it over the keeper into Odegaard for the goal. So he's been doing this. This is worked on. This is a part of his game plan. And he does not... No one in the squad at the moment has done or is doing it the way the way Vieira is. Havertz certainly isn't. Xhaka was doing a little bit last season, but I think Vieira's got that goal, that kind of cultured left foot, that creativity in the final third to really make a lot out of it. And I think there's a real chance as the season grows, if Vieira continues to play this way, we're going to see him doing a lot more of this, and it could be a real weapon for Arsenal.
I think what I liked about the way you brilliantly described the way he whipped that ball in, what he did first of all was he showed his aggression, because he won the ball back before he then gets it again and he whips it in. He was doing things that Havertz wasn't doing when he was on the pitch. He was more forward thinking. He was sort of like playing the ball forward more than urgent,
taking brave
decisions. Havertz was more the safer sort of option. He was making the underlapping run, but when he got the ball, he was neat and tidy. But
he was unlucky not to get an assist. He wasn't because he was offside for Odegaard.
Of course, but he wasn't. It's risk for reward football. And I think that's what Vieira does. You know, sometimes he might not come off. But I think we've seen the potential, and you've described that Silva comparison. Obviously, he'd do well to be anywhere near the level of that guy.
Oh, wow. I mean,
but you can understand. I understand exactly what you mean. And he was that underlapping run. He noticed that straight away. Him and Martinelli had a sort of like immediately sort of like they had an understanding when he came on the pitch, and Martinelli looked slightly better when he came on the pitch. But it was his runs, his probing, his ability to sort of like be brave and to recognise openings, which I think helped change that game.
Absolutely, and I think this is also a moment to say where we've been critical of Arteta for the 11 and how it lacks fluidity and the combinations aren't right. He also recognised in this game that Vieira was the sub to make, and that made a real difference.
Yeah, a lot of people when he came on actually, James, weren't so sure, were they? The only thing I was saying Havertz's defence in the first half. The second half, when Vieira comes on, he's in the 3-2-5 with Zinchenko inverting from the left. The whole team looked better. First half, Havertz is in the formation where Partey's the one inverting. It didn't look so good on the eye, whatever you say about the stats, and it wasn't working so well. He came on when the shape was better, 3-2-5 was better. But for all that, he showed his talent, and he was superb.
He did. So it brings me on to the Havertz thing. So why isn't Havertz doing that? Just make the runs. Just when Martin gets that ball, darting beyond. If you don't get it, at least you're taking a defender away. That's what I keep thinking. Now, he was offside for one of them, where he does kind of make that kind of run, and he squares it really well for Odegaard. He's patient, and he's unfortunately slightly offside, because otherwise that's a really nice assist. So I do kind of give him... You know, and Martinez should have scored against Palace, and that could be another assist. So he's been maybe a little unfortunate in that kind of way. I thought Havertz was really poor in this game, but Arteta's not only defending him, but also explaining that I don't think he's even expecting that from Havertz. So here's what I mean, or maybe he is. Help me understand this, people. Here's the quote from Arteta on Havertz after the game. In terms of whether, you know, Arsenal fans will warm to him, we'll start to see what he brings. Arteta said, yes, I think so. I think he's already done some really good things, and it was tough for him in certain moments. He got in some great areas again, and the ball didn't arrive. Key bit there, the ball didn't arrive. And he had a lot of situations. He should have scored a lot of goals already this season, and that's the thing that is missing there. Now, I can't think of a load of big chances Havertz is missing games. So I don't know what he means by that.
I'll tell you what I think he means. I think you have to understand, I think, why he bought Havertz, whether we agree with it or not. Last season, Granit Xhaka was superb in that left-sided number 8 role. Great runs, but he knew when to drop back. He got into the box, right? But I don't think Mikel sees or saw Granit last year as a finisher.
Yeah.
So he wants a left-sided number 8 who's going to arrive in the box and be on the end of things. In his quote there, to score goals. Yeah. That's why he's got him. Because he's a forward, isn't he? He's got a forwards mentality. So he wants to convert him into this left-sided number 8, who's when the number 9 drops out, is going to make a run in, or even be a second, or overload the box, a second forward. Someone who's going to be there to score goals. And I think he sees him as a more natural goal scorer at number 8 than, say, Granit Xhaka.
But surely, you're not wrong. And actually, this stat proves it. This is from Opta Joe. This is from 18th of June 2023, as you can see. With 334, Kai Havertz has made the second most off-ball runs into the opposition penalty area. That was last season. Only Haaland got more with 349. So only Haaland made
more goals, didn't he?
What's that?
Haaland got slightly more goals.
A couple more, I think. So there you go. You know, he's invading the penalty area, and only Haaland is doing it more than him, more off-the-ball runs into the area than Kai Havertz. So that tells you what his game's meant to be.
And that tells you why Arteta wants him in the team.
But surely we need to see more on the ball still. We need to see him show more when he gets it, show more conviction, show more, you know, it's not like the ball's coming into the box and I keep thinking, oh, Havertz should have done better there. It's not really even getting to him. So I'm just a little lost here because without the ball, when we had Xhaka, we drop into a 4-4-2 shape. And that made sense because Xhaka was a natural central midfielder alongside Partey. Now we've torn apart our central midfield. Yeah. Rice and Havertz are in for Partey and Xhaka. And it just doesn't, I don't get it. I think maybe in time Arsenal can evolve to this. And I'm not writing anyone off yet. I'm not writing anything off yet.
The amazing thing is, James, he's got 2 number 8s. What do you want from your left-sided number 8? Do you want someone like Havertz who makes that underlapping run, maybe good on the duels but not defensive, but he could get on the end of things? Or do you want someone like Fabio Vieira or Trossard or Smith Rowe who would play the role differently, who would, similar role to how Martin Odegaard plays it on the right-hand side. Odegaard is that player who gets up to support the right-hand side, but he's always looking to get on the ball and then unlock a defence, isn't he? Well, you don't see Havertz doing that, do you?
No, but my answer is I want neither. What do you want? Declan Rice. I want Declan Rice as the box-to-box. Go back to last year's system. He can drive forward. He's a very good ball carrier. He's been effective from that left attacking 8 role for West Ham in the past. Zinchenko's there to play make from that position. So you've got Zinchenko left, Ødegaard right. Let Rice get forward, and then off the ball he tucks in next to Partey. And that is a really difficult midfield to play through. That's my answer. In other games, you could maybe go with Vieira for sure. Maybe Smith Rowe. But
what do you want next week against Man United? Rice,
Partey, Ødegaard, midfield 3. Last
like we had against Man City in the Community Shield final.
Yeah, exactly.